I greet you all in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. My name is Raeesah, and I was born in a very staunch Muslim background, and I'm here today to give you a two-part testimony about from death to life. Okay. In 2015, my kids and I were saved, but in another church. Okay, and at that time, nobody knew about it. Nobody, my parents, my family, nobody knew about it. And I would lie to my mother and say that I joined a ladies group and I have meetings to attend and I'm taking my kids out. And eventually, my best friend couldn't cover up for me, and she told my mother. A year later, I met Elder Babes at a karate tournament where my daughter attended, and Elder Babes just started talking to me about my life, my religion, what do I do, and basically general stuff. So I explained to her my situation where I was saved, but I had no direction. I didn't know what was I doing. I didn't know how to pray. I had no Bible. I was basically lost and confused now because my family is Muslim, I'm Christian. I don't know what am I doing, if I made the right choice, whatever. But I still prayed and prayed and prayed. And then Elder Babes invited me to Faith Joburg, where she would organize her husband to fetch me every Wednesday and every Saturday. And my kids and I would come to church. The minute I entered Faith Joburg, it felt like home. I knew I had to be here from the day I was born. And everything fell into place after that. I met Pastor Shireen. She blessed me with a Bible. I started attending church and loving it. And then I was also employed at Taxina Medical Clinic as an assistant catering manager. Yes, and then in 2016, we lost our contract. And my manager from Royal Nandi took over the coffee shop. And he employed me to run the coffee shop. And there we basically would cater to the renal patients at Ahmed Katrada. So on the 1st of May 2017, it was a public holiday, Workers' Day, I was required to go to patient service at the renal section. And I was at work at 6:30. We were done, we loaded up the vehicle, and we were on our way to Ahmed Katrada. And on the K43 road at the Total Garage, the driver that I was with, he skipped the red robot and we collided with the SAPS vehicle. I had my seatbelt on, but with the impact, I knocked my head a few times and I passed out. I remember waking up when someone said my name. I'm not sure who it was, but I remember someone said my name. And as I woke up, all I wanted was my phone. And someone handed it over to me and I tried to phone my mom, but I guess she was sleeping as it was a public holiday. And everybody that I tried to phone didn't answer. So being Raeesah, took a selfie and I sent it to my friends and my mother. And then the paramedics wanted to assist me with whatever was wrong with me, and I was like, no, I will walk to the ambulance. And trying to move, I could not move at all. And so they took me out of the car and into the ambulance and transported me to Chris Hani Baragwana. On arrival at Chris Hani Baragwana, I had to go for CT brain scans and for an X-ray. I was laying there with headlocks and all I could move was my hands and my eyes. And the doctor comes to me and she tells me, ma'am, there's bleeding on your brain and you'll have to go for immediate surgery. And then she walks away. And all emotional because now I don't know what's happening. I'm in pain and I start praying. And she comes back to me after 30 minutes and she says to me, ma'am, we're really, really sorry, but there's been a misprint on your CT scan and there's no bleeding on your brain. So my reaction was, sure, are you sure? And she was like, did you want to have bleeding on your brain? And I was like, no, but are you sure that this is the correct thing? And she's like, yes, there was a misprint on your CT scan. You're only going to need stitches on your forehead. So that was when I realized that God is not done with me. That was the first miracle. And then she also told me that I had broken my acetabular bone. So that's the ball that holds your hip together. And I had to go on traction. So at Chris Hani Baragwana, I was there for 5 days. and later transferred to Landmed Randfontein. On arrival at Landmed Randfontein, I met a group of angels who we called nurses. Little did I know I was going to spend 59 days with these angels. They prayed with me, they held my hand, they worshipped with me. They got me through these 59 days. My operation was scheduled for the 1st of June. It was cancelled 3 times before that, and finally on the 1st of June I had gone for my operation, which was exactly a month after my accident. And 18-hour operation. When I came out of theatre, my mom said I looked like a corpse. And all I remember was being reeled into high care, and I had doctors and nurses around me all the time. As soon as the anesthetic wore off, I could not move at all. I was stuck to that bed, but all I remember was my hands being raised constantly, singing. At one stage, even the nurses came to me and they held my hand and they sang with me. And all I could say was, Jesus, please ease this pain. It's so much. Please ease this pain. And 2 days later, I was transferred into an ICU ward. And when I opened my eyes that morning, to my surprise, I had visitors. And you wouldn't have guessed who these visitors was. It was Pastor Shireen, all the babes, and Sister Lorraine. And today I think that I'm so blessed because on that Sunday the church had received Holy Communion, and I received Holy Communion in hospital. And they encouraged me, they gave me scriptures. I would get phone calls from Pastor Radha, Pastor Shireen, Elder Babe, Sister Lorraine on a daily basis, just to give me scriptures to meditate on, encourage me, pray in my ear, and just give me the hope and courage that I needed. And when they left, immediately after that, I was transferred into a general ward. And the doctors had told me that I wouldn't be able to walk in 18 months. And that wasn't what I wanted to hear, because now I'm without a job, being an independent mother. I'm without a job. I can't walk. How am I going to support these kids? And I got home, and all I wanted to do was come back to church. And I got a hold of Brother Sam, and he would come fetch me for church. He'd practically lift me up into the bus, make space for my wheelchair, my walker, my crutches, whatever it may be. He'd even push me into the church and give me a comfortable seat. And then it was Women's Day in August, and there was a Women's Day conference which Pastor Shireen came to fetch me for. And as I walked in, Pastor Radha comes to me and she says she had a vision of me walking down this aisle in the church. And the very next Wednesday, my daughter was like, Mom, before church, she was like, Mom, you can walk. I'm like, I can't walk. She was like, you can, just try. And I threw my crutches down, and before I knew anything, I was hopping up and down our passage. And from that day, I didn't stop. I just got stronger and stronger and stronger. So the doctor's reports can be anything, but I give Jesus all the praise, all the glory, because from 18 months to 6 months, I was able to walk. Today I can sit here and I can say, Jesus, you have rescued me so that I can stand and sing, I am a child of God. And then in 2019, my son came home from school, and he had these bad rashes all over his neck and face, and what we thought was chicken pox, so we treated him for it, but it just got worse, and eventually his hair started falling off, and he had patches all over his head, he had white spots all over his face, and we didn't know what was happening. So we took him to the doctor, and the doctor said his blood sugar levels was too high, so he needs to go on a diabetic diet, which we've done. Still no change. Every day there was something wrong with him. And then eventually we managed to raise enough money to take him to option and for blood tests. When his blood test came back, it showed an inconsistency in his magnesium and sugar levels. But by then, he'd been on so much medication that and meal replacements that we were tired now. We didn't know what else to do. We were visited by Pastor Shireen, and she told us that she actually told my son that he needs to claim his healing. And she told him, son, you pray every day, and every chance you get, you say, Jesus, I'm healed in your name. And Muhammad used to do that. And she also mentioned to us that we should change his name. So the name Caleb was given to Muhammad, and the name Tamia was given to my daughter Taiba. And last week's song just spoke so much volumes to us, because Jesus has saved us, He's healed us, He's changed their names, and we were never the same again. Okay, my son Caleb, we take him every month for his monthly checkups, and on the month just before we could start our Daniel fast, we got to the hospital, and as they done his test, they could not find anything wrong with him. Everything was clear. He is now got a head full of hair. His skin is clear. He is doing well now. And one thing I need to do is just commend this boy on his love for Jesus. My mom wasn't saved. Just before he got sick, he went to my mom and he said, Mom, Granny, do you know that Pastor Ronnie said that if you have Jesus in your life, you won't have headaches anymore? And Pastor Ronnie said in his service today that with Jesus you can stop smoking. And he would go home every day and give my mom stories about Jesus. And just before he got sick, he brought my mom to church, and my mom got saved as well. So we'd like to give Jesus all the praise, all the glory, and all the honor for what He's done to our family, what He's done for our family, and just for carrying us through and to giving us hope all the time. We'd also like to thank our pastors and our elders for never forgetting about us, for always praying for us and always being there whenever we need them.